Okay, so getting started with our maze, we need to make some geometry or barriers and walls to collide against. So I'm going to grab an asteroid like I did in class, drop it into the scene, and we're going to make it rotate so it's not just sitting there, so it looks like it's part of the environment, has some life to it. So to add a component, there's many ways of doing this. I can go into the scripts folder and I can pick movement and I can pick auto rotate and I can drag it either into the scene view like that, or I can drag it into the hierarchy view onto the object I want like that, or I can select the asteroid, press the add component button, scroll all the way down to playground, choose movement, choose auto rotate. Now when I hit play, it falls. But it's rotating, but it falls. We don't want it to fall. So to make things stop falling, turn gravity off on the rigid body that gets added with this auto rotate. Now when I hit play, my asteroid just rotates. Excellent. So when I'm playing, this blue background does not look very appealing. So I'm going to put a background of space back in here. Let's move that. No, look at that, we got sorting issues. Don't worry, we'll go over that too. So with this asteroid now, I want to make a bunch of these, right? So I'm just duplicating them in the scene. And I press play, and they all kind of just rotate, doing their thing. But there's a couple of problems here. So for one, it's starting to really fill up my hierarchy here, my hierarchy view. So I'm going to create an empty, this empty game object, and I'm going to call it Green Asteroid Mama. So I'm calling it Mama because it's a parent. This object is going to be a parent to these other asteroids. They're going to be children. So I'm just going to click them and move them on top of the asteroid Mama, and they get parented under there. Just like that. So now I can clean up my hierarchy. If I don't want to look at all those asteroids, I can just open and close it. No problem. The other problem that I have now is that I have all these different asteroids, but if I wanted to make a change to them, like if I wanted to change the mass of the asteroid, right? Just make it 100. This asteroid is still at 1. This one's at 1. This one's at 1. So I would have to go down all of these and change their mass to 100 and potentially making mistakes, right? That's 1,000, not 100. So instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all the asteroids but one. We'll rename this Green Rotating Asteroid. And then I'm going to put it in my prefabs folder. So instead of making a new folder like I did in class, I'm actually just going to put it in here. So I'll make a new folder in here. Create, come on, folder. And we'll call it Maze. Open that up. And then I'm going to drag the Green Rotating Asteroid into my prefabs folder. Then I'm going to parent it under the Green Asteroid Mama. And now I'm going to duplicate some asteroids. And I'm doing that with Control D, by the way, to duplicate. It's the same as it is in Maya. And so one thing to keep in mind is that when you're making these things, you can select more than one at a time, duplicate all of those. You can rotate them. right? So let's select all these asteroids. So when it starts getting really big and like I'm worried about selecting my background as well, I'm going to start doing my selections over here in the scene hierarchy. That way I know I'm not going to be selecting things I don't want to select. So I'm going to select all of them, duplicate them, rotate them, and scale them. I'll hit play. Oh, it's so big you can't actually see it, but let's see here. Let me split my view. Just pull this tab off here and set that over to the side. So yeah, you can copy, you can duplicate, move, rotate, and scale these things. So you've got quite a bit of freedom in how you lay these out, and they're all being sourced from this prefab right here in your assets. Remember, this is living on disk, right? So if I show that in Explorer, it's living in the disk. This is a whole directory structure. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this mass to 1000. I'm going to give it 100 friction, and all of these got the same change. Now it's probably a little strange that the little asteroids have the same mass as the big asteroids, so if you wanted, you could make a new prefab, and out of, you know, these asteroids here, right? So let's see here if that will work. So I'll select all those, control select the background. Okay, so the main camera is selected, control select that. And if I just drag these down here, nope, that won't let me make another prefab out of them. You can't do a multiple, so you can only do one at a time. This is the older version of Unity. All right, so do more than just one asteroid, you know, do multiple types of barrier, because it would be pretty boring if your whole maze was just, you know, the same object, the same color, the same rotation. Make sure to vary it up.